Today, we are going to install the new DRT Motorsports RNGXPHR1 front hood rack. This rack fits the 2019 Plus Polaris Ranger XP 1000, all models. Install time is 45 minutes to an hour. Can be installed by yourself but easier with a friend. With a difficulty level of the tools needed for this job are an 8mm Allen wrench, a 10, 13, and 16mm wrench, a 3/8 ratchet, a 10, 13, and 16mm socket, a T40 and T20 torque socket, a small saw or knife to cut plastic, and don't forget your safety glasses. So, gather the tools, and let's install. Before we start this installation, we need to choose the correct mounting brackets for your vehicle. This kit includes brackets for both the 2013 to 2018 Ranger and the 2019 Plus Ranger, as shown here. The steps are similar for both vehicles, so grab the brackets for your specific Ranger, and let's begin. For the purposes of this video, we are showing an installation on a 2013 to 2018 Ranger, so we will be using the bracket set on the right. Let's start by removing the hood bodywork. Twist the handles, slide forward, and lift. Next, remove these two body braces. To do so, you need to remove these two T40 Torx bolts, then these four 10mm bolts, and then this T20 Torx bolt, hidden behind the intake tube. First, let's remove the two T40 Torx bolts and set them aside. Then, using a 10mm socket, remove the two passenger side bracket bolts. Next, remove the driver's side outer bolt. To access the last bracket bolt easily, you need to remove this T20 Torx bolt for the clean air intake. Then you can rotate the intake to give you access to remove the final bracket bolt. Set all this hardware aside, but close, to reassemble shortly. Next, you need to cut these two holes into the factory grill for the new rack mounts. You will cut out the two mounting holes as shown in this location, on each side. Removing the plastic, 2 grill holes across, and 3 grill holes down. This should give more than enough clearance to install the rack mounting brackets. Next, grab the supplied updated body brackets, and slide the small end of the bracket through the grill from the backside, and lay across the bodywork in the factory position, as shown here. Do not fully slip the brackets into place at this time. Now, with the ends of the brackets extended through the front of the grill, grab the rack mounts and the 13mm hardware and install them finger tight and angled upward as shown. Do not tighten the hardware at this time, as alignment adjustments will need to be made. Slide the brackets into position onto the rubber nipples. Then reinstall the 4 10mm factory bolts and tighten down. At this point not shown in the video, rotate the clean air intake tube back into place and reinstall the T20 Torx screw. Don't forget to reinstall the air cleaner and any other items that were taken off at this time. Next, remove the 9mm Allen bolts from the A-pillar framework as shown here. Repeat this step on the other side of the vehicle. This kit comes with two different size spacers, which go between the cage and the rack mounts, to fill the void and create a tight fit. The smaller washers may be used on the outside of the mounting bracket, depending on the year of the vehicle. Note, it's important to ensure there is good thread engagement on the cage bolts. Now, with a friend's help, grab the hood rack on each side and walk into position, aligning the back of the rack with the A-pillar bolt holes. Make sure the front of the rack sets underneath the front rack mounts. Then, pick up the two shorter of the supplied 4 16mm A-pillar bolts, insert the spacers between the cage and rack mount, and hand thread the bolts into the top mounting hole. This will hold the back of the rack in place, so you can install the front mount hardware. Next, with your friend still holding the front of the rack in place, install the rack to the front mounts using the 4 16mm supply bolts. Then, tighten down all the front rack mount hardware. The lower mount is a tight fit up against the grille, but there is enough room to get the job done, so take your time. Now, install the longer of the supplied A-pillar bolts, and the other two spacers, into the bottom mounting holes, and tighten down all 4 16mm bolts. Lastly, reinstall the hood. Do this by sliding the hood around the rack mounts and set the hood in place. Then, make sure the front of the hood is pulled over the grille bodywork tabs and push the hood backward, snapping it into place. Now align the two back handles with the bodywork holes, then turn the handles, locking down the hood. Now, as this demonstrates, you can rest assured that this DRT hood rack can handle some weight, some abuse, and securely hold your gear as you maneuver nature's terrain. Congrats, that completes your DRT Ranger Hood Rack install. This front hood rack not only looks great, it adds extra storage and protection to your Ranger. It's built strong with versatile mounting points, so whether you are camping, working, farming, or hunting, this hood rack can handle what you strap to it. Until we meet on your next DRT install, be safe out there. If you have any questions during your installation, don't hesitate to contact us via phone or email. We are here to help.